Hey guys, you're watching Shiny Side Up. You're actually tuned in for my gear review video. I know that's what the title says and that's what this video is, but I thought I'd start it on the bike because you may have picked up already by now that I'm actually not riding my breakout. I have a new bike. I announced that on social media a week or so ago. I've had the bike for a couple of weeks now, and I just thought I'd have a bit of fun with maybe seeing if you guys can guess what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to do a reveal video. I really want to do that. I don't just want to rock up one day riding this thing. So yeah, I just want to have a bit of fun, and right now you're probably looking at the handlebars of my breakout, wondering what the hell's going on. Anyway, stay tuned. Right now I'm going to give you a rundown on my camera setup and my audio setup. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, let's get into this review. Three things I'll show you: my helmet, my camera and audio setup, and also give you a look at my Bluetooth intercom here as well. So my helmet is a Shark Evoline Series 3. It's called the Move It Lumi. It has these glow-in-the-dark bands on the helmet. It's touted as being two helmets in one because, as you see it here, it's a full-faced helmet, and if you rotate the chin bar all the way to the back like this, now you've got an open face helmet. Okay, let's take a look at my camera. This is a GoPro Hero 3 Plus Silver. I run 1080p, 50 frames a second wide. I have it in a blackout housing, as you can see, and I mainly do that just so it will blend in with the helmet a bit more. And also you can't see any LEDs blinking on the front. One thing I do like to do is I run a clear back door on the housing. And what that allows me to do is when I'm recording, I can see this LED blinking in my peripheral vision. So it's really handy because you can then tell if you're recording, or more importantly, if you're not recording. Now my mounting is really simple. It's the standard buckle mount on the front, just using the sticky pad. I've got two shorty pieces here in the mount, and what I did was I took the plastic off the thumb screw and I cut the screws down and permanently fixed them to this position. I just used a little bit of Loctite. So this arrangement that I have here, and I'll bring it a bit closer for you, you can see is just two shorties, and it's really neat and tidy because you don't have the big thumb screw handles still in place. It's just kind of two screws there now, so it's pretty nice. I run an external mic connected in here. I also have a tether on the front because I was concerned that if the sticky mount let go, I didn't want the camera just to drop off the helmet. Now this tether I actually made myself just out of stainless steel fishing leader. You just buy this stuff from, like a fishing tackle shop. This particular one is, and I've got them here, this is a product from Halco. It's a 7-stranded stainless steel nylon coated wire, so it won't scratch the helmet. And you can buy these little crimps connector sleeves. These are size 0.070 number 4D, and what you do is you just kind of crimp them together and make a loop. It goes around the thumb screw here, so if the camera drops off the helmet, it'll just, I'm assuming it'll let go at this adhesive point at some stage, and then the tether will just catch it on the thumb screw. And I just found a spot inside the vent here that I could loop the loop around, and it sits in place there quite nicely. And again, it's all black, so it blends in really nice. Okay, audio. So my microphone is an Audio Technica ATR 3350. I'll put a link in the description. In fact, I'll put a link in the description for all this stuff, by the way. I think it's called a lavalier condenser mic, and it came with this little battery pack with an on-off switch, which turned out to be the biggest pain in the neck because you had to locate this somewhere on the helmet where you could get to this switch. If you didn't switch it on, you get no audio. There's a battery inside. If the battery went flat, no audio, and no indication as to whether the battery was in, is the battery flat, is it okay, whatever. And then on top of that, you had 6 meters of cable to deal with. And I had originally all of this stuff tucked up inside the helmet. I had this little module here mounted to the front of the the cheek pad I should say, inside, and it was a real pain in the neck. So I think I read somewhere that someone had cut this out, and so therefore that's what I did. Microphone was on one end, 3.5mm socket was on the other, and I just cut them off and hope for the best. So what I ended up with was a mic that I could cable directly into the connection on the GoPro, and then not long after that I hacked a GoPro combo cable. So if you follow me on Instagram you would have seen that. I hacked a GoPro combo cable which allows me to have power and external microphone plugged in here at the same time. So then what I had to do was get a bit creative with how I was going to get the cabling inside the helmet, given that this shark helmet has this rotating chin bar. I couldn't just sneak the cabling up underneath the chin bar, because when it comes back here it touches the back of the helmet, so there's really no room to do that. So you can see what I did here. I just ran the cable over the chin bar and around and underneath into the helmet at the bottom here. And all I've used here is like a nylon braiding over the cable and some little clips that allowed me to zip tie. I've just used 3 of them that allow me to zip tie the cabling in 3 places. And you can see here it gives you quite a nice arrangement there. The clips that I used, I think I've got one. See if I can give you a close-up of this. I bought like a bag off eBay for a couple of bucks, and they're just a little clip. They come with a piece of double-sided tape which I replaced with, I think it's like automotive adhesive tape to make it a bit more durable, and everything's black so it blends in really well and it keeps the cable in place quite nicely. So inside the helmet the cable comes down, comes into the bottom of the helmet here. This is the microphone mounted up the front. I've just got it sandwiched in my cheek pad. This arrangement is pretty common for most setups, I think, with the microphone protruding from the front of the cheek pad. Some guys will tuck it in. I find it quite good just sticking right at the front. This is just the standard windsock that came with the microphone. I haven't done anything else to reduce wind noise, and most of the time I'll have it in the visor down. I'll certainly be in full face mode, like I have the chin bar down in place, and I think I get pretty good audio from that. Now the charging part comes because the cable inside here, it's pretty hard to see, but it splits off and runs back here, and I actually then have this USB socket just underneath the back of the curtain here, this little pad here. So if I want to run power to the camera, I can charge the camera and I can run the camera with external power. All I do is I run a mini USB lead up to the back of the helmet there, plug it in, and my battery and my GoPro will never go flat. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is my Bluetooth communicator, my intercom. And this is a product from Uclear. It's called a HBC 200, and it's a really cool intercom. I really like it. What's unique about Uclear is they don't have any boom mics, so there's no mic that has to come around the front and sit in front of your mouth. And that was quite attractive to me, given that originally when I bought this helmet I thought I'd be operating it in this open face mode, and I didn't really want to have a microphone on a boom that I had to manage, in front of my mouth. So this is not the microphone that the Uclear unit uses. This is the one I'm using to record audio to the GoPro. These guys use a microphone arrangement that's actually mounted inside the speakers. So I've got a couple here. So it's a really, really simple install. This is the controller that sits on the outside of the helmet. It's all waterproof and everything else. A mini USB connection into the back from here, and then really it's just these left and right speakers. And you can see here that there's these little kind of nubs that stick forward, and that's the microphone. So the technology they use, they're talking about some military spec noise cancelling algorithm or something like that, that allows them to recognize voice and then essentially tune out all the background noise, all the wind noise, all the noise from the bike, and it does a really good job. Mrs. Shiny and I run these in our helmets, and we run intercom more recently all day while we ride, and other than it really, like at highway speeds it can be a little bit tough to hear, but if you're doing 80 k's an hour or less, then absolutely no problem. And this thing does everything else that most communicators will do. So it'll connect to your phone, so you can take phone calls if you're crazy enough to do that. You can stream music as well. All the controls are done from these 3 buttons. More recently as well, they've released firmware, which I've upgraded in these, to allow you to connect to third-party communicators. So if you've got Scalar or Cena, something like that, you can actually pair this to those other intercom manufacturers and intercom between them as well. Well, that's it, guys. You've been watching Shiny Side Up. Thanks for tuning in. If you've got any questions or comments, chuck them down below. As always, keep the shiny side up, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back. This is my gear review, so I'm going to give you a quick look at my helmet. I'll take you through my camera and audio setup, and thank you for interrupting me with that. Peter, motherfucker.